Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Looking for Love. Everybody's looking for love, but are we really ready to work for it? So, Looking for Love is a show that is for Generation X and myself, Trey Kearney, and my co host, Lamar Hall. We're here to bridge the gap between Generation X men and Generation X women to see what the stops, the blocks, and the misses are, why we're missing each other, why older Generation X men are going for younger women, why Generation X women are turned off from marriage now. So we're here to figure all of that out for you. And we are big, 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 big on accountability. We are not here to blame Black men for what they do to Black women or Black women for what they do to Black men. We are here from a female perspective and a male perspective to learn and grow from each other, to not bicker and argue back and forth. Hey, Lamar, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Trey?
I'm doing good. How was your week so far?
So far, so good. So far, so good.
Yeah, any prospects? No, I'm
Nah,
starting early. I'm starting early.
no.
And I ain't been on Christian Mingle either.
I'm telling you. I was just telling somebody about you, and you need to do that. It's like,
I'm not going on Christian Mingle. Somebody gonna introduce me to one of their boys. They gonna be like, you know what? You and Trey would be a good, or one of my friends. You and Trey, they're gonna somebody gonna see it.
just try it. Just if nothing, just try it for a topic on the show.
I'm not going to Christian Mingle.
If we get all of your TikTok followers to tell you to go, then if we get enough followers, then you guys tell her. Say if we get up to 60,000, then Trey's got to get on Christian Mingle.
Okay, now if we got up to 60,000 people that said it, I would actually play games with y'all because that's a game. That is a game that you are playing right now. You love to start trouble. You love to start trouble.
I think your husband is on Christian Mingle.
My husband is not on Christian Mingle. He better not be out here on the streets because I don't want him outside on the internet.
You want him in the streets or you want him on Christian Mingle?
I want him to just be naturally doing his thing and working on himself and loving himself. Walk up on me, at a banquet, an event, somebody's birthday party, because we get invited out to places with people that we know. And we end up someplace, even if you end up sometimes somebody invites you to a birthday party at a spot, right, at a lounge.
Okay.
And you're not there because you're out looking for dates or the party, but you're out because a friend invited you to somebody's birthday party and a friend invited you. So y'all end up in the same place. And you're like, oh, how you here? Whatever. And then it's all good.
Not that can't happen, but you probably get struck by lightning before.
Oh, you know what? Stop shooting down my dream. Stop shooting down my dream. So today we're going to talk about, because I really want to talk about this too, because we got a inbox, right? So let's just get straight to our questions, because sometimes we don't get to discuss our questions. So let me get to this one.
Let's go.
You're going to love these because you're a troublemaker.
I am a troublemaker.
Listen to this one. I broke curfew. My fiance is really upset with me right now. We've been having issues throughout our 3-year relationship about me coming in after 2 a.m. drunk sometimes. We got engaged on Thanksgiving that just passed. We set our wedding date for the 4th of July weekend of this year. I went out with my girls. Excuse me, y'all. I went out with my girls on January 13th for a good friend's birthday, and I got home after 3 a.m. I apologized and explained I lost track of time. We had a huge blowout, and he said if it happened again, he would walk away. Hold on. Oh, may I point out it had not happened in months, right? So it had not happened in months. So, I went to a Galentine's Day party with my girls on February 10th, and I got home around 2:30 a.m. He was pissed but didn't say much. When I got home from work that Monday, February 12th, he was gone, and so was all his stuff. He left a note asking for his ring and that he wishes me well. He will not take my calls. I really think this is over the top, and I don't know what to do.
First off, good for him.
Oh!
Good for him. He sounds like a wholesome guy, like he just trying to give her boundaries. He's not telling her she can't go out with her girls. It's just like, you always have to put yourself in the other person's shoes and go, hey, how would I feel in this situation? If he's bringing his butt home before 2, you should bring your butt home because he's showing you. He's already showing you what he expects. He's going to lead. So if he's leading and he's not doing that, yeah, by all means, sounds like he got himself together. Leave him alone.
I really think that, and this is not to bash him or anything, because we need to work through these things, because somebody else may be going through this. I believe in curfews myself. I don't know about you. I just believe that there's a respect factor when it comes to come home at a decent hour. But I believe they've been dealing with this for 3 years. You should have never asked her to marry you, because you already knew that you had an issue. And if you have to ever tell somebody, give somebody an ultimatum that if this happens again, I'm going to leave, you set her up for failure. When, again, we talk about this, dating, when you keep giving people multiple opportunities to draw the line, what happens is the person keeps overstepping the boundaries.
He's making excuses for it. Like you said, he should have won. He should have never proposed the first time. Okay, cool. You set the boundaries. You keep breaking it, man. He should have never proposed to her. So I mean, now he probably sounds like he's had enough, and he's just like, listen, this is something I just don't want to put up with. And I went to a similar thing like that when I first got divorced. I was dating somebody tremendously younger, hanging out to 3 and 4 in the morning and stuff like that. And I was just like, this is not going to get it. So, and that was the demise of the relationship. So, I mean, kudos to him for standing his ground and just walking away. Now she probably understands he's serious now, and she'll know for the next man.
Do you don't think he should give her another opportunity?
No. She had plenty of chances to change that behavior.
Right. And she said it hadn't happened for months.
She's had plenty of chances to change that behavior. So how old is this couple?
Oh, they didn't say how old they were.
Okay. They're probably younger. Sounds like they're younger, but yeah,
I don't know if they're younger, because most people that send me DMs know that we cater to Generation X. So they, Generation X is like 40 and up, considering.
If she's 40 hanging out to 3 in the morning, you definitely don't want to be with her. I mean, I'm sleepy around 12:30.
Yeah. And then there was another keyword she said, she can't, 3 a.m. drunk. So when I see people and they send a DM or an email and they have keywords, like I don't necessarily know if it's just her coming in that time of morning, but when we're drunk, alcohol impairs your ability to make decisions. Yeah. And you out at 3 o'clock in the morning with your girls, like
the club closes here in Texas at 2 o'clock.
Right.
And you should not be leaving anywhere. And I tell my daughter this: if you're waiting until they turn the lights on, guess what? Now there's nonsense going on in the parking lot. There's going to be a fight. There's going to be nonsense going to happen. So 1:30, you need to be making your way up out of there anytime. Because then at 2:30 in the morning, the police are looking for you now. So it's just like, just go home.
Especially if you're drinking. Like, good luck with that at the points and all of that. So do you think that there should be curfews in relationships? And what does that look like for you?
I think there should be discussions and tell what the expectations are. So what I would do is I would have expectations, say, listen, this is what I do. And because I am going to lead this relationship and I'm going to lead by example, if I'm coming home at 1:30, guess what? You coming home at 1:30 too. So I lead by example. If I can do it, you can do it. And that's just the way that it goes. There is no hanging out to 3 and 4 in the morning. There's nothing good going on anywhere at 3 in the morning.
And not for a person that's in a relationship. I just believe that there's a respect factor that people, one thing that I hear a lot with couples and a lot on social media, even with single people, ain't nobody gonna tell me what time I come home. Like, if that's your attitude, you don't belong in a relationship, because you're going to be accountable to a person that you're in a relationship with. Like, you're
Right.
not going to get up and leave my house or come and go in the house that we're together, especially if we're married, or even if we're living together and we're exclusive and we're going somewhere in this relationship. You're not going to be coming in and out of my house as you please. Like, that doesn't even, and I hear a lot of people saying this. I hear a lot of men saying this too, that I don't have no curfew. Ain't nobody going to tell me what to do. Do you think that's from a lack of growth?
Yeah. I don't know very many people in general our age that want to be out till 3 in the morning. So that, to me, that's why I asked what age they were, because it sounds like that's a young person's behavior. And when I say young, I mean 40 and younger. So
Yeah.
I just,
A mature person.
yeah, you haven't grown enough. If you feel like you got to be the last person to leave, you got to go eat breakfast and do all of that stuff. Listen, man, take your butt home. It's like, listen, I got a 3 hour cap. If I'm somewhere at 9, I'm home by 12.
I
You
know
know,
that's right.
and
And
that's just me. I'm self-correcting myself. I don't want to be in the streets that long. So it's
oh,
just
I'm
like,
self-correcting myself. I like
so,
that. That's a good one.
so I mean, it's just, I mean, I applaud that man, because it sounds like he loved her. And for whatever reason, he's given her multiple chances, and he's just hit his breaking point.
Yeah, and I think I mean, listen, but do you think this is right? Let's talk about this real quick. Do you think it's right that he didn't say anything? She said he was pissed. I guess she could visibly see that he was pissed, but he really didn't say anything. That was a Saturday. When she came home from work on Monday, he was gone. Do you think that that's fair to do to somebody?
Yep.
Why do you think that's fair? Like,
He's already talked. He's done talking. He's done talking. There's no more talking. I mean, let's just say he said it in 3 years. They've had 4 or 5 blowups.
right.
He's done. You can just tell by a man's action. He's done. And he wanted to marry this woman. So now he's looking at himself, and he's hurt. And he's just like, I didn't invest all this time in this woman. I done made excuses. I done bent what I know within what I really don't like, and I don't want to tolerate. And he's done. So I mean, I've done it. I mean, the last relationship I just left. We didn't talk. I was like, I'm out. I'm like, I don't keep talking to you about the same stuff. Are you crazy?
Right. Well, she says she doesn't know what to do, and let's just give her a little bit of advice on that. What do you think? I think that
The advice would be, when your next relationship, bring your behind home at a reasonable hour.
right, and leave him alone. Just I feel like it's over, and sometimes people spin the block. Sometimes maybe he mad right now because this just recently happened, but he took he left his house with his stuff.
If he goes back, he will regret it.
Wow. Well, I think he's done because he left with his stuff. Like, I don't know how much stuff, because this is an ongoing thing where she said she's coming home. So I'm assuming they're living together.
Yeah.
You came home, a homeboy cleaned out his closet.
Gone. Good.
So where did he go? Like, but I mean, did he see this coming and he just like, you know what, I gotta have an apartment? Because I feel like there's so many questions I'll be wanting to ask.
Follow up on that one. We want to know some more on that one. I want to know age, were they living together, how many times has she done it, stuff like that. Then that would really
Because she said my fiance is really upset with me right now. We've been having issues throughout our 3-year relationship about me coming in after 2 a.m. drunk.
Yeah, sounds like she's not ready. She's not ready to be in that type of relationship.
Again, so to our listeners, if you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love. I am Trey Kearney, and this is my host,
Lamar Hall.
And we come on here to have Generation X conversations to bridge the gap between Generation X men and Generation X women, and to have healthy conversations to look at different scenarios of things that we may be our own Achilles heel. And I just want to tell the people who are listening to this particular person, you have to honor a person's boundaries. Now, remember we talked last week about non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, I just use Lamar as an example. We're not together before y'all start going crazy. But if me and Lamar are together and we discussed our non-negotiables at the beginning of this relationship, and you didn't tell me that this was a non-negotiable, you're gonna have some problems with me. Because I'm like, listen, you should have told me this.
Well, maybe he didn't know it was a problem in the beginning. Maybe he's never dated anybody that's had that problem. So once he sees this behavior, now he's going to speak upon it. That's fair.
It is.
So you do have your non-negotiables, and you should have done the work on yourself. But in a case that you don't, you can observe and then comment, and then there should be dialect between the two of us and go, okay, what would you do? How would it's everything doesn't have to be upfront per se,
right.
because some I got to learn. I have to learn you a little bit,
and that's fine.
And that's fine. So if he didn't know that was a problem, then all of a sudden it becomes a problem. Now he speaks on it, and they keep arguing about it and arguing about it. Now he's just like, listen, I'm fed up. I'm not going to do this, and that's fair. And that is, more men need to take that position, and more men need to be able to walk away. Because listen, you surrender your power with a woman, and she won't respect you in the long run. I guarantee you, she gonna walk up. You think she's gonna not walk over you? She'll put her foot on your neck next time. So it's like she's gonna do what she wants. So he didn't correct me. Oh, let me see how I can push him to where he's gonna do something.
Wow. So that's why I really wanted to talk about that, so we could talk about the difference between non-negotiables and boundaries, right? So I say this all the time. A non-negotiable is something that you must tell people in the beginning of the relationship, or when you are going into the serious zone with them, what your non-negotiables are. These are just things that I cannot tolerate. And I say this because, and I wanted to talk about that with us right now to bring up how boundaries come. Most boundaries get set when something happens to you that doesn't feel good to you. And you're like, oh, that's a boundary.
Right.
Don't do that to me again. So we got to realize that these things are going to show up in our relationships. And if it's not something so drastic, like, you left the toothpaste off the thing, or you keep leaving the ketchup bottle dirty. Like, some people really are picky. Like, you get peanut butter in a jelly jar, they ready to like psycho on you. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, it's just peanut butter in a jelly jar.
But in that situation, that you have to learn how to pick your battles. You understand that is not a deal breaker in a relationship. Talking to me crazy, that's a deal breaker. Staying out late, that's a deal breaker. Leaving the cap off the toothpaste or leaving the toilet seat up should not be a deal breaker in a relationship.
Right. It was another, I didn't write this one down because I was like, I can't read them off my thing because I'm on my phone and my computer. But there was another one that segues into this. And what did she say? She said that her husband doesn't want her hanging with her sister anymore because her sister is promiscuous and her sister is loose and her sister be doing wild stuff. And she also said, what did she say at the end? She said, oh, maybe I've shared too much with my husband about my sister. So what do you think about that? Like, if you had a woman and her sister was...
Listen, I'm a firm believer. Can't nobody make you do nothing you don't want to do already. So I don't give a damn if me and my brother hanging out and he cheats all the time. If I cheat, it's because I wanted to. It ain't because he was just like, he made me cheat. I'm a grown man. You can't make me do nothing. So I
wouldn't want you with your cheating brother. Let me say why. Let me just say why. No, seriously, because we're having these conversations for a good reason. Let me say why. If you was my husband, I wouldn't want you with your cheating brother. Because when you're with your cheating brother is more than likely going to take you places where temptation lies, right? And we all human. And me and you could be in a not so good space in our marriage. We are vulnerable at times when things are going on in our home. And those are the times when the conditions are bad, because cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem, right? So if we're vulnerable and I go out with my wild sister and me and you was having some issues, and then we go out, we get drunk, next morning I'm waking up like, oh my God, what did I do? So that's my only concern. Not that somebody can make you do something, but we have to learn to stay away from things. Lamar, this is just my take. We have to learn to stay away from people and things that tempt us or take us to places of temptation. That's just how I protect myself from slipping back to who I used to be, because
I totally respect that. I got guy friends, and if any of those guys are doing anything wrong, that has nothing to do with me. There is not anyone alive that can make me do anything I don't want to do. Now, is that something that I've learned? Absolutely. At 51, at 31, I probably could have been influenced. So I think it's just a maturity, it's a growth thing that I'm not going to be in a relationship with a woman just because. I'm with this woman because I want to be with her. And because I want to be with you, I'm going to correct myself. I go over my guy friends all the time and I look at women and I'll be like, man, I got somebody. Get away from me. And they'd be like, and what's that mean? I'll be like, I don't have time for it. But that's a growth. That's growth. I've grown as a person. So it's not, I don't know. I don't know. You just have different phases of your life. And I think as a man, you just get to a point where if you find a woman you want to be with, you gotta show this woman, you tell her, and you gotta show your actions have to show it. And I don't think that any woman I've ever been with has worried about cheating with me.
Right.
Because my life is pretty good by itself. I don't need you in my life. I want you in my life. And because I want you in my life, that is going to give me a different perspective. Right. It's like I could have 5 girlfriends if I wanted, but I choose to have one. And because I choose to have one, there's not a woman that's going to make me do anything.
I'm not saying anybody can make you do anything. I'm just saying that.
I mean, if I'm in an environment, it doesn't matter. That environment doesn't mean anything to me, and it's just like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. That's just me. I can be in that environment and just be, it doesn't bother me. Now, do I do it all the time? I don't do it all the time. I don't go out anymore, really. I really don't. But it's just, if you are, if I had a guy, I would tell my guy, man, let's do something. Because I tell my guys all the time, like, dude, I don't want to be standing around the bar. Let's go bowling. Let's go do something else. Let's go smoke cigars. That's what we kind of get out of that club environment.
Right. That's what I'm saying. See how you said, I tell my guys, let's go do something outside of that. Because again, for me, and this is for anybody who has any type of behaviors or anything, going to places that tempt you to be who you used to be or do the things that you used to do, that environment alone, not the people that are with you, but that environment alone can be a trigger, or that environment alone, no matter how much work we do on ourselves, we have never arrived. And that's one thing I learned about me. I used to be like, I'm healed. I don't got to worry about that, until I got into situations in my life where things showed up to where I was like, oh, you don't need to go there no more because you drank too much. Like, seriously, and I don't go to places where I know that certain things are tempting just for my own protection and my own well-being. I'm single. Yeah. And there's some people that will call me or some invites that I get, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to be in that environment, because that's not even a healthy environment to me.
Well, you've done a lot of work on yourself, so you've grown. So for the average person, it starts, what we always talk about, is growing as a person. It's really what do you really want? You can't say you want a relationship and you want to be in the streets all the time.
Right.
Because that just it's not healthy, and you're going to mess up. So
we got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Jay said, what does it mean when she says I have to move on because she doesn't want to hurt me anymore? It means she don't want to be with you no more.
Yeah, I mean, she's basic. There's some inadequacies there. She doesn't. Something's changed. She's not looking at you the way she used to, or she wants different, or she's seen something that long term maybe that's not what she wants. So, how old is he? I ask him.
How old are you, Jay? But the truth is, like when men say to us, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, when men say to us, I want to let you go, it's not you, it's me. That's just a nice way of saying, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I don't want to be with you anymore. So I want to release you, letting you know that it's not you, it's me. Whether it's me, my feelings change, or whether it's me, I don't look at you the same. But he's 36.
Stay single till you're about 40 to 42. Work on yourself, get in the gym, get your money right, and guess what? You'll have your pick of the litter, buddy.
Oh, I'm not even going to negate that, because I'm not a man. And
I'm
again, we're
just
not.
telling you. I mean, for whatever reason, you haven't done enough work on yourself to make yourself desirable, and just continue to work on yourself. You know, any man under the age of 40, the best way, go to the gym, work on yourself, become the best version of yourself physically, get your career together, get your money right, and guess what? They'll find you, and then you'll have choices.
And I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna say for every person that somebody, because that feeling of rejection is hurtful when somebody doesn't want to be with you anymore and you still want to be with them. I've been down that road, and not
Yeah,
too long ago, I've been down that road
yeah.
4 years ago. And the thing about it is, again, he's 36, but I've worked on myself. So I'm not with anybody who fills voids for me, right? So I'm not with a man that's paying my bills. I need him to pay my bills, or I need a baby daddy, or I need a father figure. So when the relationship dissolved, I did not take it personally. So that's what, if anything that anybody gets from that, don't ever take somebody else's decision personal and make it something wrong with you, because there's nothing wrong with you. She wants to marry me, but I caught her cheating and she decided to go with him. She
She,
don't want to marry you.
she saved you, man. It may hurt right now, but she saved you in the long run.
But again, and Lamar, correct me if I'm wrong. She wants to marry me, but I caught her cheating and she decided to go with him. And I'm saying this at a love, and I'm not saying this to hurt your feelings or make you feel bad, but you're lying to yourself because her actions are not showing you that she wants to marry you. So you're making excuses for her, Lamar.
I listen. Everybody's had their heart broken. One day you will wake up and it won't hurt anymore. Just stay the path. Continue to work on yourself. Work on yourself. Get in the gym. Make her, use that as motivation. Use that pain and that hurt as motivation, and work on it and become a better version of yourself.
And
And
a much better woman is going to come along.
yeah, there'll be a better woman. A better woman will come along that will recognize your potential. But right now, you're not in a season of being in a relationship. You're in a season of working on yourself. So it
Right.
sounds like there needs to be work that needs to be done. So can take that as a blessing. Start to work on yourself and work on those things and heal. And you'll be okay. I promise you.
Make sure you take time to heal.
Yeah.
Make sure you take time to work on yourself. Make sure you take time to be whole, healed, and happy before you move on to the next person, because she's not in a good space to be with anybody. If she was cheating with this person, he's already in trouble. So you dodge the bullet.
Yep.
Make sure you heal and you take care of yourself. And I'm telling you, a woman will come along that will not cheat on you, because she'll be mature and the content of her character will not allow that to happen. So if that's who she is right now, that young lady, and I'm saying young lady because 36, she really needs to work on herself. And please don't hold it against her. Y'all are both very, 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 very young. And I'm glad you're in the room, because we're 51 and 54. Lamar's 51, I'm 54. And we've been down that path at 36 and of being I've been the cheater. And it didn't have anything to do with my ex-husband and everything to do with me.
Yep. Be the man that she can't have. Work on yourself. Become that man.
Be the man that she can't have. So we're going to get to our next question. And this one.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
This one is a good one.
Okay.
So if you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. My name is Trey Kearney. I'm a certified life and relationship coach. I'm here with my serious, sometimes co-host.
So, yeah, I am sometimes serious. That's a good way to put it.
Let the people know who you are.
I am Lamar Hall.
Entrepreneur, businessman, executive at a good job. I don't know if you want to shout it out because we don't want y'all asking for stuff. No, I'm just joking.
I got a good job. Yeah, I got a
good job. A very good job. You got a good job. And he good looking. So ladies, and he's single, in case y'all didn't know. I'm going to put him on blast. So we're going to get to our next question. And it starts out with, this is a tough one. I've been with my girl for a year now. We've even discussed marriage. She does not give head. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love this conversation. You already know what I'm going to say. How old is he? How old is he?
Hold on, let me read it. She does not give head. I really missed that part of the intimacy. I asked her to do it and she said no. She doesn't enjoy it, but I told her I do. Right? I give it to her and trust me, she has no problem receiving. I made a joke that if she don't do it, somebody else will. She got pissed off, but the truth is that's the truth. I will not go without I will not go without it for the rest of my life. Should I hold on. Oh, should I try to convince her for the occasional service or just cut my losses now? Other than that, we have no problems.
Should have been done with her a year ago.
Oh,
She's a bit out of here. They still make women like that? The hell? I didn't know they. She's a Betamax. It's a VHS tape, man. Like what? What?
no, I teach this, right? Really, like I teach this because there are women who don't want to do that. Like there are women who don't want to do that. So this is for
Single.
my married couples, right? Because I gotta add that to my list of deal breakers.
Listen, that is a prerequisite. Stop playing. You either too old for you to be, oh, I don't bye. Ah. You out of here. That's an easy
I gotta
way.
agree with you, but again, I just said I have to reevaluate my deal breakers because from the perspective of a woman, from a man that don't do that, that's a deal. We all up in our business now, but that's a
Oh,
deal
listen,
breaker.
that is listen. That's non-negotiable. Okay, you may not do it on the first date. I'd give you a week. But after that, you better act like you got bit by a snake, and that's what the venom or the antidote is. Play with me, crazy. Mm-mm.
Wait a minute.
I ain't no. Run, buddy, run,
I agree.
run. You do not want to be in that type of relationship.
So again, we're learning here because I told you my deal breakers. Everybody knows my deal breakers. Most of the people who follow me know my deal breakers. You can't put your hands on me. You can't be addicted to anything. You can't cheat on me, and you must love the Lord. I must add that to my list of deal breakers because I never thought about that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so fellas, if you need that, that needs
Every man needs that. That is not an. I've never met a man in my life go. I really don't like that.
every
Crazy?
man.
Are you crazy? That look, a long time ago, I worked with this lady, and she tried to tell me that her husband didn't like porn. And I was just like, we were like 27, 28 at the time. I was like, he is lying to you. I said, at 27, 28, he's looking at that behind your back. You know, I said, so that's, come on, man. I mean, men are visual. That's what we do. It's like,
But
I'm never going to date anybody that goes, I don't do, especially in the bedroom.
But so there's no, wait a minute. So there's nothing that if a person said I don't do that, like
if she says she leads with I don't give head, I'd be like, it was nice knowing you.
I mean, let me say this to the ladies. This is a real teachable moment. That this is what I teach when I'm teaching women who are going through the devastation of infidelity or couples who are trying to reconnect and intimacy is a problem. And sometimes that intimacy is oral sex, right? So I tell the women, you don't have to do it all the time, right? Because it could be
every time. Are you crazy? Every time. You listen, you want your man to be at home, he will be looking for you with a flashlight in the daytime. You want a happy home, man? That dude, if he walked in from work, they had a hard day, he get out of the shower, we'd be like, hey, let me handle you. He'd be like, he call his boys, hey, you know what? Man, stop playing with me. That's an easy question.
They are cracking up. They are on TikTok. They are dying over here.
That is not, man, I cannot believe that still exists.
Yeah, it does. No, I'm telling you, this is a real problem for some men But this is how I've worked this situation out really like with some couples that I coached, right? And this is for real right now because some women don't like doing that. Like seriously, some women don't like doing it.
These are
And
old
I've
ladies. These
come
are
to
older. I almost said these are older ladies, right?
some of them are in their 40s.
See. You ask a question like, why do older men like younger women? Because younger women understand that's not even negotiable. We're not even. I ain't met a young chick that don't.
Ladies.
The
And
older
then this is
women,
a
the older
Generation
women.
X conversation. So if you tuned in right now, you listen to Looking for Love, and we're Generation X, and we're talking about the stops, blocks, and the misses of why. And we talked about this: why older men, Generation X men, are going with younger women. So continue. So the young.
There you go. That's number one. I don't give head. What man are you gonna keep if you don't give head? You don't have to cook for me. You don't have to clean for me. But that is got to happen. I mean, I'm not playing with that.
Wait a minute. So again, let me get back to my point for the women, our age who have checked out of the giving head stage of their relationship or whatever.
There's no checking out. You can't check out of that. Shit, y'all may be 70 years old, be like, ooh, y'all nasty. Yeah, exactly. That is never stop that. Ever.
I heard Lamar. Let me teach the women who don't want to do it all the time. Now, ladies, you don't have to do it all the time. Lamar, that's his preference. I'm just saying, but he's teaching us that. Now he said all men. Now I don't know if it's all men, but he said all men. So I got to believe
all
the
men.
brother. All men want.
All men want it.
Something wrong.
Okay, like you, and that's what I'm saying. You cannot ask. Would you please? Would you mind? Hell no. Chris Rock said, he's like, would you? I kind of thought maybe if you help me out, like, suck you on it.
Let me read some comments.
Oh my God.
I Am Mary said, I agree, all men. For plenty of men, that's not a prerequisite. Dr. Williams 64 said, for plenty of men, that's not a prerequisite. Dr. Williams, are you a man? You hear that, ladies? That's a prerequisite. Like I said, you hear that, ladies? I'm 47. I'm still on it. Mary said she's 47. She's still on it. Hold on.
Yeah, she's 47. She know the game.
29. I'll sing on the microphone. Lord,
there you go.
They like it, just not with that guy. Lamar not giving her a break. Too funny, but true. Facts. This is why it's important to be aligned spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and so forth. Not every time. Not every time. So I'm going to say this again. Let me just say this, Lamar. Let me get this out.
Okay.
For the women like Dr. Williams, I'm assuming you're a woman. For the women like Dr. Williams who don't like to do it all the time, with some of my coaching clients, until they built up to a regular basis, we agreed that the person would do it birthdays, Christmas, Father's Day. Listen, Valentine's Day. No, this is people who have totally disconnected and are not getting anything. Father's Day, special occasions that it would have to happen in the house because, like Homeboy said, if you don't do it, somebody will. And I'm teaching this because cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem. When a person is not getting their needs met, and I'm never ever condoning cheating or any of that, but when this person that sent this in said, I need this, and to say to her, if you don't do it, somebody else, he said it jokingly, but I'm sure he meant that, right? Like, if you don't do it, somebody else will. So whether he's sneaking or creeping or whether he leaves, if a person desires that or needs that, they're going to go somewhere and get it done. Am I right? Like,
yeah, but he should leave her. Leave her alone, man. She's crazy. If you gotta ask for those type of things, and he's pleasing her.
Yeah, he said, and believe me,
selfish. She's selfish. That's
She's
all that is.
selfish. He said,
She's
believe
selfish.
me, she ain't. He said, I service her, and believe me, she ain't turning it down.
She's selfish.
Oh my God, on holidays, if I were a man, I'd leave.
Exactly. That's what
Dad said that's a good compromise. Okay, if I had a man,
no.
I'd be on it. Keisha said if she had a man, she'd be on it. I hear
Yeah.
y'all, ladies. I hear y'all. So again,
Now I will say this: a more mature woman is going to be picky in who she does that to. So that goes back to knowing what you want. So don't come in my bedroom if I do some things that you don't like. Don't come in my bedroom talking about you don't or you ain't. You hey, bye.
and again, you can't expect somebody to do something to you that you're not willing to do for them, because if that's the case, you should be like, oh no, you ain't got to do that because I'm not doing that for you. But he said she don't have no problem on the receiving end. So again, ladies, we're just here to learn and to listen to Lamar, right? As a black man, a Generation X man who has knowledge, who is a subject matter expert. And I say that because he's a black man who talks to black men, who's around black men, who grew up with black men his whole entire life. That is a necessity. Let's not say for all, but let's just say for most.
99%.
Can
It ain't all, but it's 99%.
we say 90%?
I mean, you can say it. I mean, I've never met a man who's just like, ew, that disgusts me.
Right, but it's not a required. I'm not
Oh,
saying would be a man that would turn it away,
there's
but
no
it
man
might.
turning it down.
Like,
Now,
I'm not saying it'll be a man that would turn it down, but I'm at saying maybe it's not a requirement all the time
he's making excuses, Trey.
for a
It goes
man.
back to it. Trust if you're making decisions for some reason that you accept that type of behavior, you're looking at her. Either she looks good, or this she the sex might be real good. And you go, well, she just has sex with me. No, don't make those decisions. If you need that, find somebody who loves to do it.
Oh,
That's it. In anything. That's like change the subject. We won't make it raunchy. If
right.
you
No,
if
it's
you if
okay.
you if you're a woman who loves to get flowers, and your man is like, I don't never give no woman flowers.
Right,
Do you just accept it?
right.
No. You that's what you want. You want what you want. And if that person is unwilling to do it, go find you somebody else that wants to do it.
And I think that it is a prerequisite for women because most women, well, I should say this: women who don't know their body cannot obtain an orgasm without that. So most women need that in order to climax.
Oh, and listen, we can go on another subject, and I tell all you women out there that are single, stop using them toys all the time, man. Y'all are killing yourselves, and it makes it too hard for a man to please you. And can't nobody be working like that. It's like, like a toy should be every once in a while. Use your fingers, do something like that. You got these toys now that are doing all this crazy stuff, and then you look at a man and go like, well, I'm sorry, it takes me a little longer to come. What the what? Yeah, because you've been using this thing that does 5,000 RPMs. You're like, nobody can do that stuff. Like, slow down, man. It's like a jackhammer over there. Like, slow down.
Ladies.
That's a free advice right there. It's like, you don't listen. It's the whole thing. It's that I pride myself on this. I don't lust after women. I don't follow women on IG. I don't look at porn. I don't masturbate for one reason only. My mind can be easily stimulated by the woman I'm with.
Wow.
That's been I've been like 4 years now where I haven't. Now, when I was married, I was doing it like it was going out of style because I wasn't getting my needs met. And that's that. But as I grew as a man, it's like, I don't need that. I don't need to look at naked women to get myself aroused. But I also get with a woman that understands I'm not going to look at porn. So guess what? The pressure's on you. Step up.
Oh my goodness. Toys are a problem. He is correct.
They are.
Toys are a problem. Professor
Toys.
X got his eyes open. Women don't say what they want, sadly. I don't think it's that women don't say what they want when it comes. What I learned along my journey, I'm 54 years old, so I know a few things. What I learned along my journey as becoming a mature woman and being intimate with somebody, it was more about me knowing my body. As long as the man was able to stay erect
Right,
long
men
enough.
men want to please. We want direction. It's gotta be constructive criticism. You can't be, oh, you suck. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's you can give him some direction. Ooh, I like it when you do this. Or that felt really good. Or something. You don't have, man. I mean, there's ways to do it. It's just slow down on the toys, guys. With the women, slow down on the toys, women, men, slow down on the porn, slow down on the masturbation a little bit, and challenge yourself a little bit and see how you get stimulated. You get stimulated a lot easier when you don't have all these outside stimulants.
And again, if a lot of women don't know their bodies and they're dependent on a man to do it all, and you have to know whether you need to lean forward or whether you need to lean back or whether you need to learn to the side or whether you need it on your knees. Like, you have to know your body and where you're, as women, I'm saying this, as where your spots are, because from my experience, it got better when I knew my body. Long as he was confident, like, long as he was confident and everything was working and he could last a certain amount of time, I was good myself.
I'm biting my tongue. I got blood in my mouth.
Don't bite your tongue. I'm just saying, no, like, a lot of women really don't get, I hear from women all the time that my husband, he just take care of himself, or he just do this, he just do it. And of course, like you said, if you're using a toy and it's going to take you 2 hours to get to where you're going, of course that you're never going to get there.
It's just harder. I mean, it just really is. But it just challenge yourself. Leave it alone for a couple of weeks and just see how easily you can be aroused. Just all I say, just try it. If it doesn't work, then go back to jackhammer. It's cool.
So I hope y'all, whoever tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love. I don't know what part you came in on. You probably been touching your pearls. Like, what are they talking about? We are here. We're talking Generation X conversations for men and women. And Lamar is my co-host, and he talks from the male perspective, and I talk from the female perspective on life, love, and all things that come with Generation X relationships. And right now, we were just talking about, because one of our viewers sent a letter in and said that his girlfriend refuses to give oral sex. He said give head. So refuses to service him in that way. And he wants to know what he should do. And we were just saying that you have to know what you need in order to thrive in a relationship, because, again, I'll say this 1,000 times, a million times, most relationships end up with infidelity and cheating because of a need that's not being met. Because cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem. Most people our age who have matured, who have done work, are not just out here cheating. Now, we're not talking about young folks, like young women, young men. Some of them out here just cheating because they saw in their royal oats, and rightfully so. If they're single, not married, they have the right to go out and do different things. But people who are our age, generally, if there's any infidelity involved, and Lamar, you can talk from the male perspective, if there's any infidelity or any cheating involved, it's usually because a need is not being met. Absolutely. And not just a physical need.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So some people have emotional affairs because they don't have a supportive husband or a supportive wife, or a wife that doesn't listen, or a wife that's not his biggest cheerleader, or a woman doesn't have a husband who pays attention to her because he works too much. So a need is not being met. And when the need is not being met, there's always this crack in the door.
Always. If you listen, I just had a conversation with a very, very, very good friend of mine about leaving the door cracked. If you're going to leave the door cracked, there's always opportunity. So here's what it is. Give me another question. We're probably on a good topic. Let's get another one.
Yeah, well, handle your business, and these things will not affect your relationship. And again, the main point of this is, and me and Lamar talk about this all the time, accountability of working on you and knowing what you want, knowing what you can tolerate, knowing what your deal breakers are, and just honoring yourself. So let's do this, right? Let's talk about dating for a minute. Don't start laughing because we're about to do something. We're gonna do some role playing. So let's just talk about dating and as far as knowing your needs and your wants and when to have these conversations. So just say we're on a first date. What is a question that you would ask me?
One of the first questions I asked, have you been to therapy?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So what did you learn about yourself in therapy?
I learned that I need to know who I am and I need to be whole, healed, and happy in order to be productive in society and to be in a healthy relationship. And I learned that healthy relationships start with me.
Okay. Have you ever been in a relationship where you've been 100% honest to the point where it makes you uncomfortable
Yes. My last relationship, I was 100% honest for the
with
first
everything?
time.
And that's the baseline that I try to create in a relationship is how honest can you be to the point where it makes you uncomfortable? Because I want to see, give it all to me. Let me make the decision. Some things that I can't deal with, we'll talk about it. And the things that I can, we move on. So it's honesty is really good, but a lot of people are afraid to be 100% honest. You may get as close to that as you can, but get to the point where you are really honest, where it makes you uncomfortable, like, ooh, I don't know if I should tell this person this. And then you tell them and they go, that's it. And then that gives you the confidence that you can open up and you'll see that person to become more vulnerable. And that's a good relationship. So I have a friendship with a woman that has probably been the most amazing friendship ever. And I made a mistake. I probably didn't value her at that time period. And, I've doubled back and we're talking now, we're being honest with each other and we're going through that process. But I didn't know what I wanted at that time. I was kind of, and she had to go date somebody else and figure it out. And like I said, now we're friends, we're starting over again. And, and it's good. It's healthy. It's always been easy because the basis is there. The honesty is there.
Mhm.
We're friends. We enjoy each other's company, and I can say that she's one of my best friends. I love talking to her. I talk to her 5-6 hours on the phone because we don't have boundaries. We talk like, you gotta love me. I want somebody that's gonna love me. And I
Mm,
mean, don't get caught up in what I can do or how I look and stuff like that. I want you to be like, I love this man. Like I love what he brings to the table, how he talks to me, how he treats me, because that all started with the honesty that we started. So
mm. Here's a question that I would ask on a first date. Like seriously, I would ask this question. Like, what is something that I should know about you?
I'm not for everybody. I'm difficult. And if you can deal with it, I can tell you that it'd be the best thing for you.
Oh, oh, okay. Somebody said therapy for what? Not everyone is broken.
Yeah, we all are. You just don't know it.
Let me just say this: therapy is not about being broken.
Right.
Therapy, just like you maintain a car, just like you maintain your furnace, just like you put a new filter in your furnace, just like you maintain
Yep.
your appliances, just like you upgrade your phone and update your phone, you need to take care of your mind the same way because life is life. And people think therapy is for people, oh, I'm traumatized. Every day, life is life and things are happening to you, and people get therapy mixed up. And those are the people, and no offense to you to say therapy for what? Not everyone is broken. You have, I'm glad you're here to understand that therapy is not for people who are only broken. Therapy is maintaining your mind in a world that's constantly going and going and going. And we've all been through some things in life, and triggers are always going to show up. Nobody had a perfect life.
But what therapy taught me? It taught me how to go into a room and talk to somebody and be honest. I sat there with somebody that I really didn't know, and I was able to talk and tell my deep, dark triggers. And that person didn't judge me. They listened and they gave me their professional advice how to deal with things. And it just gave me a different perspective of life. And it actually enlightened me that I thought I was good. I thought I was doing, that person there. I thought I don't have no problems. And
Right.
we all have something. And
I haven't had any bad exclusive relationship.
it's not
This is
about.
not, therapy is not about other people.
Mm-mm.
Therapy is about you. Therapy is about you being working on yourself. Like
How old
you
is that
don't go
person?
to therapy for other
Ask that
people.
person how old they are. Is it a woman or a man?
How old are you? Flexing in God's peace. How old are you? If they both care for each other and want the relationship to work, they will do the work. How old are you flexing? It helps you. Tommy said it helps you cope with life. Therapy helps you
Mhm.
cope. Yes. And then Regina says, when you stop learning, you stop living. Yes. Nobody ever arrives
Right.
to the point of I don't need help, I don't need therapy. Nobody ever arrives. And the person who thinks they have is the one who is really in store for a hard fall.
Yep.
Like seriously, because I mean, when I first went on my healing journey, when I first started going to therapy and coaching, at one point I thought, I'm whole, I'm healed, I'm happy, I'm good. And then life started lifing on me. And I was like, oh, okay, you need to go talk to somebody
Mhm.
again. And you're not broken.
Right.
We were not created
I
to
mean,
go through life alone.
the best thing you said is car maintenance. I mean, that's the best analogy that I've actually heard. That so that's a great way to put that. So
Yeah, because people think that, people come to me for relationship coaching, right? If you don't know, I'm a certified life and relationship coach. And they come to me for relationship maintenance because sometimes people lose connection, so communication gets off. So you don't know why something is happening until you sit down and have a conversation with somebody and the person is asking you questions not about the other person but about you. So when you start to point fingers at other people, my job is to say, no, we're not here to talk about them. What about you?
right,
What part do you play in this? Why are you still with a person that you're in here talking about and complaining about, but you're still there? What
right,
does that say about you? Because nobody, you don't have shackles on your feet to be with somebody. So what are you getting out of the deal that would make you compromise your happiness to stay with this person that one you saying doesn't treat you well, or they're a narcissist, or they don't pay bills, or whatever the situation may be? Why are you still in the situation? So therapy and coaching is never ever for you to come and talk about the other person ever.
right.
And people be going to therapy to come home and say, you know what my therapist said? My therapist said yada yada yada. Your therapist said that to you for you to apply that to your life, not for you to go home to your husband or your wife and tell your husband or your wife like the therapist came told you to relay a message to them.
Right.
They talking to you. So it's 9 o'clock, but this was such a good conversation tonight.
Hey, this might be the best one ever.
We went totally left,
Hey,
but
I
the
like it.
question was, what do you do when your partner doesn't want to service you the way
Yeah.
that you need to be serviced? So we touched on it, we talked about it, and what are your final thoughts for tonight?
I again always know yourself, challenge yourself, become uncomfortable because that's how you're going to grow. Just continue to work on yourself. Go to therapy, spend some time alone. When you spend time alone, you really, really start to figure out what you want and what you don't want. And therapy, leaving on therapy, everybody should just go to therapy. Like you said, it's maintenance on yourself, and you're going to find out something about yourself. And it's good to have a third party that's not a friend or a family member or a co-worker or something like that. They don't know nothing about you, and they're going to give you their professional advice. And
Right.
it's just it's the most amazing thing you can do for yourself. It is absolutely
Yes. And my final thought would be, again, none of us will ever arrive to perfection. None of us will never ever not need the help of another person, an outside source. And when I say that, I mean, if it's not therapy for you, sometimes coach resonates with men because young men have been raised through little league coaches. So sometimes you need to go talk to somebody. So if it's not a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, let it be a life coach or a business coach. If it's your business that's suffering, go get pastoral care. Go talk to your pastor. If it's a woman, go talk to the first lady. Somebody that does not have any skin in the game, or
right.
somebody who's not going to come to you and yes man you to death, or somebody who's not going to come to you based on their experiences. A lot of time we're getting our information from people who are close to us and they're telling us stuff based on how it happened for them. That's not my reality. If Lamar comes and tells me, hey, and I ask him something, he tells me something, I'm taking that from the perspective of That's from an experience that Lamar had, but I have to decide for myself. And like Lamar said, that's the wonderful thing about therapy. This person has no dog in the fight. This person has an unbiased opinion and no opinion at all. And even if they went home and had pillow talk and talked to their husband or their wife or somebody, their friend, them people don't know you. Then people don't know you. So it's a safe space
Yep.
to be able to be honest, vulnerable, and to be able to heal. So we wish healing for everybody. If you just tuned in, you're tuned into Looking for Love on the New You Nation Network YouTube channel. We're here every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just talking from a Generation X male and female perspective on how we can bridge the gap and just have healthy love. So we love y'all. We thank y'all for tuning in. And we'll see y'all next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Looking for Love. I'm Trey Kearney.
I'm Lamar Hall.
We love y'all. Peace and blessings.